time for our Land Rovers and our post-war vehicles. Now you can see we've got quite a few Land Rovers in here with us, but we've also got a few other types of vehicles in here with us. Well, we've got 2 wheels, 4 wheels, we've even got 6 wheels. So I think potentially worth us starting. We'll start from little to big, shall we? Let's try and do that. So we'll try and jump onto some of the bikes, because that's what we're talking about. But first, let's start with this. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm alright. Yourself?
So let's have a look. Should we start with this one? Because all 3 of these are yours.
Yes, they are, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I don't know about that. Let's start with this. What have we got?
This is a Kawasaki KLR 250. It's ex-special forces. Came out of Malta near Reading.
So, how many miles have we got on this? Has it had much use this, or has it been sat around?
It's a 1996, and it's got 576 miles on it.
So it hasn't had much use this at all, has it?
No, I believe they were just in storage at Malta, just in case. They were designed for deep insertion, you know, taking them with that.
Strapping to the side of the head across the arms of parachute in and off you go.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Now the other 2 bikes that are sat here next to us, let's start with the black bike, shall we? Just third one in there. That was quite an interesting bike, though.
Yeah, that also came out from Malta. 10 years before this, I rode it 20 years, and it's a predecessor to this, also special forces, and we think that might be the only survivor.
Because that one originally started out as a road bike, and then was funded to create military.
Yeah, the US military will have their history from Yamaha. They bought it direct from Japan, and they bought it to the Commission of California. So we've got all the Californians and the maintenance stuff on, but then they mixed everything, electrical, the battery, the regulator. They put it down with 30 production days and slapped them that day. And even that gaffer today, so you can see on it now, is original when I was 20 years ago.
So that is literally as it's come out insert. And when they were insert, they were booby trapped.
Yeah, that one is where the booby trapped off the CGI unit. In fact, somebody was having a look at it the other day, and we pulled the cover off, and he said, what's this switch for? I said, that's where you can booby trap it, and then put the cover back on.
I'm not surprised. Now the bike in the centre of the 3, what have we got there?
Yeah, that's a British Army XR 250R from the Pathfinder, which is one version.
Well, it's gorgeous to see all 3 here with us. I'm going to jump over the barrier now and have a look, but I'll let you drive off first and get a few shots of you. Like I say, all of this footage will be heading up onto YouTube. And usually, carry on. I absolutely love this. Such an original bike. Real free to see. He's running off. Come back, Aaron. Come back here. Come here, you. Don't you dare run away from me like that. That's all right. That's all right. I'm not playing with it. So a Harley we've got here with us.
Yeah, Harley, it's the MT350.
I love the MT350. It's such a brilliant bike.
Yeah, it's a bit heavy, but there's a lot of drops. It's nice on the road, so yeah.
And this could be used for all sorts of things. We can see we've got a couple of mounts on the front of it, but we could carry pretty much anything you want from this, couldn't you?
Yeah, good for a shopping story,
No, they're brilliant bikes. Now, you've been getting the taillights in the small arena. Later on today, we're going to open the main arena at 4 o'clock for our free tour. Are you brave enough?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? You're up for that?
Definitely. Yeah.
Alright, I will see you down there, and I'm going to be watching to see how much tail action you get.
Cool, see you later.
See you later. Right, absolutely superb to see those. Right, so that's our motorbike. Should we get some Land Rovers in now, ladies and gents?
So now you think, because you parked there, you're out of shot. Not so,
Because I can just do this.
there we are.
Right then, we're going to start with this one. We'll move on to the Pinky in a minute, but we'll start with this one. Hello sir, how are you?
Good morning.
You having a good day?
Fantastic, thank you.
Did you camp with us last night?
Yeah, all week.
You a bit groggy today?
Yeah, a little bit.
It was a good night last night
Yeah.
though, wasn't it? It was a great laugh. Fireworks, you name it, it was brilliant.
Yeah, last night was amazing between the memorial and the engine and the fireworks. Fantastic, it was really good.
Well, if you haven't camped with us, make sure you do next year. Tell us what we brought in here.
It's a Wolf Wimmick, X2 Para, served in Iraq. Had an RTA when it was discharged, so they're a big smash up on the rear. But yeah, it's a 2 Para and 7 Para RHA. And it's got 50 cal, a Gympie on it, and it's a reconnaissance vehicle basically.
So reconnaissance vehicle, used out in Afghan, retired after an RTA. When you got it, had it still got the damage?
Yeah, still had the damage. So it had the chassis was good, thank goodness, but the rear body and rear tub was very badly damaged.
Well, I have to say, you've done tremendous work getting it back up to spec. How much time has that taken?
We've had this thing now for about 10 years now, so put a lot of work. It's 2 or 3 years putting it back together, and we put the windscreen back on it, and it's wet weather kit, so it's kind of got, normally the screen wouldn't be on, but we've put it as it's wet weather.
Yeah, no, it looks great. I have to say, wet weather, but also a bit of shade, isn't it? Because it's mighty hot out there. When you got it, had it got all the gear on there? Have you had to track that down as well?
Yeah, I had to put most of it back on here, so I had a lot of it with the fixtures and fittings, but all the guns and all the equipment long gone. It uses a parts vehicle, so it got robbed in theatre.
Oh, it's such a shame, but it kept others in theatre, that's the main thing. And of course, in that kind of situation, you do need vehicles to be able to take parts on and off.
Yeah, exactly. Same with the quad, which is going around as well. It's another one that was used as a parts vehicle, came back with the majority of it missing. It was damaged and then just robbed the parts.
And is that one yours as well?
Yeah, that's one of mine, yeah, and that's been rebuilt back up, so that's an X22 SAS quad as well.
Well, before we move on, let's talk about the quad. X22 SAS quad would have been used for what, like sort of reconnaissance and so forth?
Yeah, reconnaissance, a bit of everything really with the quads. It's a Honda 450 TRX, they use several of them, and but yeah, same thing again, got damaged and then got robbed parts, and then got sold off about 7 or 8 years ago. They sold the pile them off, and I've luckily got all of them.
And you picked it up, and it's all back together now, and it's here to, well, to remind you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, and I've left it as it was, so it's got the same paint and everything else as it was in theatre, so we've just left it, put mechanically working and leave it alone.
Brilliant, that's great to see. Thank you very much for bringing that in. Now then, we move from the Wolf, let's move on to the Pink Panther. Hello there, sir, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Good morning to you.
Were you here last night?
Certainly was, yeah.
Bit groggy this morning?
Not too bad. Brilliant display, as normal, and nice to see the meter engine going as well, and of course the British Legion doing their bit. Fantastic.
British Legion were amazing last night. Seeing the meteor engine fire up, you could see the flames. It didn't stop spitting flames, it was just constant flames coming out of the exhaust. It was awesome. Now then, Pink Panther, we think that this is one of the oldest surviving ones, isn't it?
Yeah, number 30, which was the one before this, unfortunately is no longer with us. This is the oldest surviving one. This saw service in the Oman, late 60s, early 70s, and then the guy who bought this originally found it about 1978.
And he spent hours and years building it back up, putting everything back on it as it should be. It wasn't even in this colour, was it, when he got it?
Not when he originally got it, but he saw a bit of pink paint under the cover, under the sort of peeling paint that was on it, and he had a look at the data plate, which is on the seat base, saw where it was, and he had to have it.
Well, it could have been lost. It could have been lost,
yeah.
But it's here, the oldest surviving Pink Panther, such an important piece of history. And of course, pink, because that's the best colour for camouflage out in the desert.
Certainly is. They each one had its own sort of shade of pink, depending on where it's served. This is as good as it can get for this one. And we've had sort of like people who've been serving with it saying, oh, that's fantastic, you've kept it the sort of right colour, so we're pleased.
No, I absolutely love this. I'm going to run around and get a bit of footage of this, and I'm going to jump and have a look at our Snatch Land Rover, because I love the Pink Panther and the Wolf. They are fantastic vehicles. Such a treat to see this. So this is probably the oldest surviving Pink Panther known in existence. You can see all of the kit has been put back on there. It didn't come out of service like this. In fact, when the previous owner got hold of this, it wasn't even this shade of pink. It was just some flaking paint that released the car's true identity, and it's been restored back, and such a treat to see the oldest surviving Pink Panther here with us in the arena. Absolutely superb. And then of course the vehicle that replaced it sat right next to it. You can see remarkable similarities between the two. Absolutely brilliant vehicles, and of course the quad sat next to it also survived thanks to the owner who built it back up. Now then, let's move on to the Snatch Land Rover. Hello there, I'm going to ask you to, I've got my hands full, do you mind opening the door please, sir? Oh, he's saying go up, go up. Hello.
Hello.
I've got to try and reach up there now. Hello, how are you?
Very well, thanks.
Tell us what we've got. We've got a Snatch Land Rover.
Snatch Land Rover, here in the representation or replica of a Vixen Plus model for Afghanistan specification.
Now, originally the Snatch was developed for Northern Ireland, where you could have driven one of these into a crowded situation and you could have got personnel out the back nice and quick, or of course, as the name suggests, you could open the rear doors and literally snatch someone off the ground and get them into the back of the vehicle, whether they were wanted or whether you needed to save them.
Yes, exactly. Designed for Northern Ireland, not really designed for the later uses in Iraq and Afghanistan, but yeah, very much of an all-rounder vehicle, pretty much used to death by the forces.
Absolutely. Now, these were originally developed for Northern Ireland, so you can see underneath the belly pans, if you have a look underneath, you can see that they're there to literally deflect away any explosions. Now, over in Northern Ireland, it would have been grenades and so forth that were used, so providing they were deflected away, the Land Rover could pretty much survive. However, over in Afghanistan, we had things like IEDs, far more powerful, and unfortunately, the Land Rovers, they were just never built to take on that kind of power, so asking it to do would have just been too much of a modification for these vehicles to take on. So they did move away to more specialist vehicles, but you can see the Land Rover has been used in so many different variants for so many different roles.
This is delightful to see. I'm definitely going to have to come to me here, come to me here. Hello, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Tell us what we brought in here.
Well, we've got an East fire service van.
An East fire service.
It's a van. It's generally used as a mascot vehicle in parades, sort of like a bit like a commander's car. It was never used for actually flying guidance. It's probably now we've got near one.
Well, it looks absolutely superb. Is this all the original paint?
No, it has been done up as one, so we've got it in the upfield really well. It's got all genuine arsenal, so we've got the radio in here. Yeah, conditioning with the switch and then the change over here.
Amazing.
That's the right defender of everything.
Absolutely. I thought this was original. That's good. Delightful to see. Thank you so much for bringing it in.
Look at this, such a beast of a vehicle this. Let's jump up and have a word. Right then, the Scammell Explorer, what year is this one?
1953.
So it's a 1953 Scammell Explorer, could pretty much recover anything.
Yeah, they're pretty good at what they do. 15-ton winch underneath, 5-ton crane on the back.
5-ton crane on the back, massive winch on the front, engine.
This is 10.8 litre Gardner 6LW.
So it's a 10.8 litre, did you say?
That's correct.
10.8 litre diesel engine. Now these originally came out with petrol engines and they would have done gallons to the mile. At least this gets slightly better and does maybe, what, 8 to the gallon?
We think this does about 12 to the gallon.
So a bit better than doing gallons to the mile, rather miles to the gallon. Awesome pieces of kit. These can pretty much get over anything you throw at it. I've seen the articulation on these and the A-frames that can climb over are taller than me.
Yeah, they're awesome off-road. Maybe we get a demonstration next year. We dig some holes in the fields.
I like that idea. Let's try and do that. I'm going to let you carry on. I've got so many vehicles to get through. I can't wait to see this out in our free-for-all later.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Enjoy.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Right then, let's move on to this one, a lightweight. Hello, sir.
Morning, Tim. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Survived the night.
Survived the night. Now, aren't you glad that you kept the canvas on for a bit of shade?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's much better than a bit of shade than burnt head.
Absolutely. Now, lightweight Land Rover, these were so popular when they came out of service because they were so easy to work on. You could literally unbolt everything off them, bolt it all back together.
Absolutely. I had to put a new 3/4 chassis on this last year. 8 bolts, the whole back body's off. And great to work on. Lovely little things.
And that was the whole design of these with the lightweight, was to be able to take as much off as possible, so these could actually be flown in by helicopters, which were just not as powerful at the time.
That is exactly right. The back body comes off, the roof comes off, The windscreen comes off, bumper comes off, and it's half the weight of a standard Land Rover.
Amazing, and we've got...
And you've got special efforts for our first demonstration. Not only we've got the lightweight, but you're also using the right gear as well.
Yes, this is what was used in Northern Ireland from 1969 to 2007, which was a long and bloody war. This is just to remind people that it really did go on.
And you're in the right outfit for the period as well.
I mean, it's roughly what we would have worn in about
1980.
1980.
When this vehicle was still have been in use?
Yes, this vehicle was very much in use then.
A lightweight Land Rover, very capable vehicle. I've seen these take on unbelievable challenges, and they just seem to get across it because they are so lightweight.
Yeah, they were designed for that. There was some more that were designed for the Volkswagen that had immensely wide tyres on, so they could go across the boat without sinking.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for bringing this in and getting us in here. I'm going to carry on. I'm running out of time.
What year's this? This is a 1978 Land Rover lightweight built for the Dutch military. It served in Bosnia under the UN United Nations.
And because it was Dutch, it didn't have it had a diesel engine rather than petrol, didn't it?
That's correct, yes. It had a 2 1/4 diesel and not the petrol engine, yes.
And but you haven't got that in here.
No, you've got a 2.5.
You've got a 2.5,
yes.
but you've kept that 2 1/4
I've still
savings
got
there.
that, yeah. Yeah, still got the original engine in a crate in the shed, yeah.
Excellent. So if we need to go back to original, we can. Delightful to see two lightweights here with us. But what I really want to move on to is this one here. Now, this is a very, very rare vehicle. There's only about 15 of these in the world, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. It's Glover Webb Hornet, made by Glover Webb in Hampshire. 1 of 15 made. 12 went to Saudi Arabia, 2 went to Malaya, and this is a factory demonstrator. Keeps tied to ITN News for the Bosnian War. The turret was removed. There's a few bullet marks in the side where he got shot at in Bosnia.
So this was hired out to ITN News, sent over to Bosnia. This was the factory demonstrator, so #1.
Yeah, that's right. Also, Glover Webb hired slightly different versions to the BBC. Kate Adie, the famous BBC presenter, she was in Glover Webb's in Bosnia. Basically, when Glover Webb got took over in the early 2000s, the vehicle was sold off, and this is the first time it's ever been on the show scene in the UK.
Wow, so first time out, what's the reaction been?
Quite good. I mean, obviously, it's most people think it's a Shoreland, but obviously Glover Webb probably just took the idea of what Shorts of Belfast were doing with their armoured Land Rovers and probably just took it a little bit further. It's slightly thinner armour, but it's better protected armour, so it could be thinner, slightly lighter than the Shoreland. A few advantages, but you know, they didn't sell many, which obviously wasn't a commercial success. So it all went composite armour after this, because composite armour come to age of being useful.
Yeah.
Tell us what we've got here. We've got a system arm of the French Army truck. So we've got British, we've got German, and now we've got a French Army truck. Is it all original or that's just what's not working? All original, it's body on the back of the British Army radio truck. We've got a British Army radio truck on the French So if anyone's got a problem with it, they can come and find you and tell you yourself. How long have you had this for? Oh, for probably less than a year now. And how do you find it? You enjoying it? Yes, I like the truck, but I don't like the fuel consumption. With the V8 petrol. It can get a bit thirsty, but V8 is gorgeous. And well, why not? Why not enjoy it? Do you get this out to many shows? Yes, I went to Fast with the Blitz in Peterborough, and I've come to this one this week. Now, there's been to this show before. That's never. You are in for a real treat. This one, right at the back and determined to sit with us. You carry on enjoying yourself over there. Right, let's catch up with our factory. As you come on, I've got some show off. Right. Hello. I really was scared then. Tell us what we've got. Not scared as I was. Oh my lord. Right, tell us what we've got.
It's a 1993 BB206T Hagland current specification came out via a scrapyard where they used it for training ambulance personnel and amputees, stuff like that, laid on its side on a normal car and then gone back to the middle of the spectrum out of it.
Wow, so this was being used literally as a training vehicle, lying on its side, left for dead. It's very much alive now.
It's needed a lot of work, the roof was all crushed in, loads of parts. Current serving spec, hard to get fixed for them. They've only just started releasing lots of bits now. So.
How long does it take you to get this back on the road?
A couple of 3 years.
A couple of 3 years and many hours. We've got tracks front and also on the rear artillery as well. Both of them are powered.
Yes, 4-track drive, once you change your Land Rover, set it on track, 9 low box as well. Driven about 40-45 miles an hour.
Yes, I know it's good for about 45 miles an hour. On the back, road plate back there. Okay, we've got enough room for what, 40?
Cruise configuration is the 12 in the back. This one's an SFR variant, so it knocks it down to I think 8 in the back. There's probably outdoor radios and everything.
Well, we're getting up a right turn of speed in here. Coming up at the end of today, at 4 o'clock, we've got our free for all in the main arena. So after all the big tanks have got in there and turned it all up and completely destroyed it, we open it up for any vehicle whatsoever, such as this. And I think it'd do brilliantly out there. You get taken out?
Yeah, I got told off last year. There's a nice little tank in the bottom of the field. It went straight through the pond, so didn't fully empty.
You didn't fully answer it? Well, let's see how that goes this year. You know what? I might even try and jump in here with you when you go out if you're up for that.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Awesome, right, we'll see you later on. Carry on enjoying yourself out there. Thanks so much. Anyway, was later on this week. Hello sir, how are you doing in there?
Yeah, not bad, not cold to do it on.
I'm just lovely to cool in. Come on, that's so nice to cool in there. Oh yeah, excellent. Right, so now I've got it on my face. This is perfect. So what's got?
So that's Land Rover Snap.
Snap Land Rover, what year?
The original building, 1905, as a Snaps 2A. With a diesel engine. Went back out to Afghan for a couple of years, a bit solid.
And then you come into ownership.
Yeah, it took with them for quite a few years, I think, with the roof open, so it's full of water. But yeah, I'm ready to bring in now.
Excellent. So you've been to our show before?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, not in this style, I think, but yeah, it's doing exactly.
Well, you know, it's such a brilliant show. You're going to have some fun in this with our free-for-all later.
Definitely.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing it then. Thank you so much for bringing it in. Hello.
How are you? Carrying on from the Snatch, these were used in Northern Ireland as well, for the same reason that they were armoured. They could take a grenade quite happily.
When were these first deployed?
1958. So they've been out to places like Cyprus, they've been out to Borneo, and all sorts of mainly peacekeeping roles. This one served with the Royal Engineers in Germany when we had a huge land army over in Germany, and it served alongside 2 CETs, compact engineering tractors, and was used to recce bridge crossings, river crossings, the myriad of canals that we may have had to cross in a rush to get out of Germany, should unfriendly forces have come across. So this was sent out the day before, or whatever before, and the recce sergeant would work out the best place to put the bridges, whether the land could take the tanks over the bridges or not.
Fantastic. Well, such a treat to see. Thank you very much for bringing the ferret in, and to all of our drivers for bringing their vehicles in. I'm going to let you all carry on because I can see there's even more vehicles waiting to come in and join us now.
Hello sir, great to see you. Tell us what we've got. Come join me here. Tell us what we've got.
Okay, we've got a 432, AMD 432, these were built somewhere between 1962 to 1974, around 3,500 made, full original. They came in a variety of different varieties. However, only 30 came with a turret on top, like the one we have tonight, which was known as the Berlin Special.
of these. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was almost not a prototype, but almost like a trial thing.
Yeah, that was right. It's a prototype for Warwick.
But it didn't quite make it up because they couldn't get enough people in it.
No, you could only sort of get seven in there, you know, the driver, the commander and the gunner, and they had 4 units on the back, so one was
no, but 13 of them produced. Do you know how many left?
I have no idea. I know Armageddon we have 3 of the original but the rest of them right on the island is itself, which changed the 30mm Wartime cannon from 40mm airplane system, where we fire ping-pong balls full of pigs with a homeless tank for battle.
I like that a lot. I almost want to borrow it right down my local high street. Like, fire everybody who's sat on double yellow lines to tell them don't pass it. Absolutely brilliant to see this. Are you going to be in our freefall, mate?
Yeah, we'll take that.
I'm going to try and get in there with you because this looks like a mess.
Yeah, we have to close.
Excellent, thanks so much. Carry on enjoying yourself. So coming up then, if you just fire these on, we're going to fire up our V12 engine.
So we've got, well, it looks like 2 Willies. So I'm going to start with the right-hand side. Have we got a Willys or have we got a Ford? What have we got?
Willis.
We've got a proper Willys, 1944. Wonderful little vehicles, these, aren't they?
They're lovely, really nice, yeah.
They're very, very basic, but they are very honest, aren't they?
It's a small car and you can easily work on them.
Absolutely,
and you store them easily as well.
Absolutely, they are so small and so easy to work on, and they're full of character, aren't they?
That's right, and you can store them easily, and parts are you can come by part extremely easily.
And that was part of the question I had about the Ford and the Willys, is because when they were in service, you know, the demand for them was so great that they were produced by Ford under licence. And when they came into the workshops, it didn't matter if it was a Willys or a Ford, all the parts just bolted between the two.
That's right, yes, absolutely right. But you can actually get parts for this far easier than you can a Peugeot 205, I know that for a fact. Lots and lots and lots of people produce parts and sell old parts and new parts for Willys Jeeps.
Now we've got 2 youngsters in the back.
Yep.
Are they going to be the future custodians of the Willys?
Yeah, this isn't my Willys, it's my brother's, but they will be. They will be the owners.
Or you could just get 2 more, you could have a fleet of them.
Well, I've got a GMC 1939 hard cab truck. My brother's also got a Dodge World War II, and my brother in Lincolnshire has got a Jeep, so we are sort of mad about military vehicles. Second World War military vehicles.
All you need now is a huge hangar so you can just get more and more and more of them. Wonderful to see. Now then, where's our driver gone? Come back here, get it. Come. You can look at that one later. Let's have a look at this one here first. So Ford or Willys?
It's Willys.
A Willys. So we've got 2 proper Willys here with us. Now, question, have you been through it and made sure there's no F-bolts in there?
Just a transmission box.
Just a transmission box?
Yeah, other than that, it's fine.
Not bad that, not bad at all.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes. A transmission is a transmission.
Absolutely. Now, as I was saying, these are so incredibly basic. We've literally just got 5 dials on the front, a very basic steering wheel, and that's it pretty much. The windscreen folds down. You can get it down to, well, not very much height at all.
Absolutely, it fit in anyway.
And you can bolt loads of stuff and bits and pieces to them. I've seen these used in, I can't count how many different uses.
Absolutely, that's the beauty of them, is there's many different configurations, plus you can put them in the back of that GMC.
Absolutely. Now then, that brings me nicely onto this. Hello, how are you? It's mine. Oh, it's yours, is it? Right, all right, and I won't talk to you, I'll talk to you. Right, tell me about this.
So it's a GMC 353 used in Italy as attached to the tank battalion of the 751st Division.
Excellent. I like the fact that you've got all the history on this. What engine we got up front?
This is a 4.6 GMC straight 6.
Straight 6. And a lot of people think that it's going to be a V8, but it's not. Straight 6. 4-wheel drive on the back?
4-wheel on the back, and then 6 if you include the front.
6 if you include the front. Absolutely amazing vehicle. Listen, like you say, you can fit the Willys in the back of this. You can fit a lot more in the back of this.
You can. A lot of people turn them into campers, but this one's, as it was, it's just a cargo truck.
Excellent. So this would have been used to carry cargo, ammunition, you name it, around, water, supplies, whatever it needs. Could have also carried troops if need be.
Absolutely, yes. It's just a general purpose truck for carrying supplies.
Well, a delight to see. A real treat to see all of these together. And now, question. In our free-for-all later, which vehicle are you going to take out?
Well, I've had that one out yesterday, and I had that one the day before, so toss up maybe the Jeep again.
Maybe the Jeep. Okay, well, if you take the Jeep, I'll take this one for you.
That's fine.
We'll see. I'll see if he'll hold up to that later on. He might disappear. Brilliant to see these three vehicles here with us. Now, coming up in just a few minutes' time, we are going to start up our Meteor engine, which is just down in the bottom corner of the arena here, before we head over to our main arena, which was on the left-hand side as you came into the show this morning for our midday guns. So that was the morning's activities in the arena. We're going to head over to the main arena now, where we are going to have our midday guns. But before that, we're going to head down here, where we're going to start up our Meteor engine.